Bonjour à tous et à toutes. Je voudrais vous saluer et saluer.
Hello, everybody. I would like to salute you and also to especially salute Madame Maryam Rajavi by thanking her for welcoming me to take part in this debate. I wanted to state that for many years now we have known each other and I admire her. I sincerely admire her courage, first of all, as well as her determination and resilience, and her faultless commitment without any hesitation to serve the values that we all share, which is what gets us close and make us close, which are the values of democracy, individual freedom, values such as respect for women's rights, the value of laicity too, of secularism too. And I think that here all of us are really liking, and we really welcome peace as the most fragile asset, our most precious asset. And I've underlined that many times how we are living in a dangerous world, in a world where conflicts are multiplying across borders, where there are increasing tensions, where some countries have a lot and more weapons than necessary, and there are some terrorist actions that can now strike anywhere and touch everybody. And on top of this, for over a year, almost a year now, we have to deal with the COVID pandemic, which also threatens each one of us, which is also another element that can destabilize our planet, and yet we do not know how long this will last for, and it's quite probable that by dealing with this, the world will uncover that there will also be future pandemics. And I think that therefore in these troubled times, the most important thing is maybe to try to contribute to peace situations and to guarantee that we have some zones and areas which are areas and zones of stability in the world. And from that point of view, Iran could be an important factor, and I would say even an essential factor for stabilization of the Middle East region. And it could also contribute to peace because Iran is a country with a long history, with a very rich culture, and with a geographic position which can enable it to act also with men and women who are highly educated, with some researchers, some university professors, engineers of the highest caliber. So this is really within Iran's vocation, traditional vocation for Iran to be an element of stability. Unfortunately, when we look at what has been happening for the last few years, we remark that due to the attitude of the Iranian government, Iran, on the contrary, is a factor of tension and instability. We can see with the nuclear problem, I have spoken about this quite often, we see the risk in nuclear dissemination, which represents a risk for the whole of the planet. Iran seems to have understood this with some international agreements, and now what we notice is that what we observe is that the government almost with wanting to obtain this or that is violating the agreed agreements in international conventions by once again launching a program deemed to enrich uranium with the threat of a nuclear weapon, and they do this by blackmail. This is extremely dangerous, and I say that it is, and we must fight against this, because technically Iran can quite probably get a nuclear weapon. And then what will happen politically? Other countries around Iran, because they will feel threatened and fearful, will also get a nuclear weapons, and this will lead to an increased destabilization for the whole of the world. So as we can see with this pandemic, we have many, many other things that we need to take care of. And there is also the terrorism problem. We have stated for many years that the Iranian government supports a number of terrorist groups, especially in the Middle East region. And today, with the trial taking place in Belgium, in
Nous
Antwerp,
voyons dans le box
we
des
have
accusés
gone further. We can
quelqu'un
see
qui est
amongst
un membre
the
de
accused
l'ambassade d'Iran en
somebody
Autriche,
who is a
qui est
member of
un
the
conseiller.
Iranian embassy
Et à travers
in
lui, les
Austria. That
complices
person
de
is in the
cette flamme,
dock, he's an
c'est
advisor,
finalement
and with
symboliquement
him the
l'État
accomplices
iranien lui-même
represent
qui se
symbolically
trouve
the
dans ce
Iranian
box
state
des
itself,
accusés pour
which is
une
in the
action
dock
terroriste qui a failli être
for
menée vers
a
de très
terrorist
nombreuses
act
victimes
that
à
almost
Villepinte,
succeeded,
à
which
Paris.
could have led to many,
Il y
many
a
victims in
maintenant
Villepinte in
3 ans,
Paris.
un peu moins de 3 ans. Et
3
c'est
years ago
finalement
from now,
d'extrême
a little
justesse
bit less than 3
et
years ago.
grâce à une
And
coopération
it
exemplaire
is
des services de
thanks to
renseignement
an
belges, allemands et
exemplary
français que l'on a
cooperation between
pu
the Belgian,
éviter
German, and French
une
intelligence
catastrophe où il
agencies
y
and
aurait eu de très
services that we
nombreuses
managed to
victimes.
avoid a complete catastrophe, which
Alors,
would have
je dis, cela
led to
suffit.
many,
Ça
many
suffit. Les
casualties.
relations
So I
internationales,
say
ça ne
that this
peut
is
pas
enough.
être cela.
The
Les
international
relations
relations
internationales, elles ne peuvent
cannot
pas
be
se
led
baser
that way.
sur le chantage,
International
elles ne peuvent pas se baser
relations
sur le
cannot be
terrorisme.
based on blackmail, cannot be
Soyons
based on
clairs,
terrorism.
ce n'est pas à
Let's
des
be
pays
clear.
étrangers de venir s'ingérer dans
It's
les
not
affaires de
up
l'Iran.
to
C'est
foreign
au peuple
countries
iranien
to
lui-même de
meddle
décider
in
qui
Iranian
il veut
affairs. It's up to the
pour le
Iranian people
diriger.
themselves to
Et je
decide
pense
who
que
they
dans
want
ces
to
temps
lead
où nous
the country.
voyons
But I
que
think
la
that
Covid
in these
devrait
times when we
mobiliser
can see
l'ensemble
that
des
COVID
forces,
should mobilize
l'ensemble
all of
des
the
bonnes volontés,
forces,
l'ensemble des
all of the
compétences,
goodwills,
eh bien,
all of
il
the
est temps
skills and competencies, it is
qu'on arrête
high time
avec ces
for
actions terroristes.
us to
Il est
stop,
temps de
for
changer tout
these
cela.
terrorist actions to
C'est ce
stop.
que
It
le
is
monde
time to
attend.
change all
Nous le
this. This is
devons
what the
à
world
nos enfants,
expects.
nous
We
le
owe
devons
this to our
à nos
children.
responsabilités.
We owe this to our leaders and to our responsibilities.